Hello guys, Christian here. Today it's time for me to show you the new version of CAMWorks. Probably the best one so far because it has a lot of enhancements in all modules starting from milling, turning, mill turn, user interface and so on. So let's start with what's new in CAMWorks 18 version. I will not show you, but I just want to talk to you about the SolidWorks CAM project. So, as for this year, SolidWorks launched its own CAM software, which is SolidWorks CAM. But another important point is SolidWorks CAM is powered by CAMWorks. So, SolidWorks CAM creates some packages with milling 2.5 axis, volume mill, turning, and tolerance-based machining, and it became a new product sold by the Sol system, which is called SolidWorks CAM. But I just want to remember all of you who are watching this video that SolidWorks choose for its CAM software SolidWorks CAM, which is powered by CAMWorks. Let's imagine that SolidWorks CAM is just the little brother of CAMWorks. So this is it for SolidWorks CAM. In another tutorial, another video, I will present you SolidWorks CAM. But today, let's start with the new enhancements of CAMWorks. One of the best enhancements, in my opinion, is CAMWorks NC Editor. Until this version, CAMWorks didn't have an official CNC program editor. But from this new version, and you can always use CAMWorks NC Editor, which is powered by Simco. Simco editors are very popular among CNC programmers. So just let me show you the CAMWorks NC Editor. I will open a part. And with CAMWorks NC Editor, you can edit, modify a simple simulation of the CNC program, and right now it is another powerful module with CAMWorks, and it is free. So, in case you wish to view the generated G code, just like in any other NC editor, you can open the G code in CAMWorks NC Editor, or you can use it as a default NC Editor file. So for this part, I have here the technology, and right now I will just, to activate the NC Editor, go to NC Manager, right-click it, Options, File Location, and here is a new option which is called Open G-Code File in CAMWorks NC Editor. I check this option, hit OK. I will just pause one simple operation. Pause process, and now this is CAMWorks NC Editor. If you guys are working with Simco, you will recognize the same structure, the same NC function, the same backplot window, just like in Simco. In my opinion, this is one of the best enhancements in the new version of CAMWorks. Right now, you can use it, and it is very useful. Of course, if you have questions about NC Editor, just let me know. Okay, the next enhancement I want to show you is the photos of the parameters in CAMWorks. In my experience so far, I have different clients who are asking me about why in multi-axis cycle you have some small picture of the parameters in CAMWorks, and why don't you have the same in 2.5 axis, in 3 axis. CAMWorks has a lot of options, and it is hard for me to explain all the options in a training. So as for this new version, My colleagues from CAMWorks developed, I think, a lot of photos and implemented in this software. So if you go to tool, it is the same. If you go to fit and speed, it is the same. But if you go to roughing, as you can see, this is changed. So when you click on the option, you will have here a small photo of the parameter. Any parameter for 2.5 axis cycles, 3 axis have this small preview photos, which is very helpful for a beginner, but also for an advanced user. I consider myself an advanced user, and these photos are very useful for me. And congrats to the guys of HEL for this new enhancement. Okay, moving on, another great enhancement for this new version is the modified workflow. So let me show you what I want. I want to talk about coordinate system user. So different competitors, I will not name it right now, but trust me, different competitors have a different workflow. So you define the machine, the powers, the tools, then the stock manager, and then in the beginning you will define the coordinate system, which is the zero program. Until this new version, CAMWorks has different ability to define the zero program. From the CAMWorks NC Manager, CAMWorks Operations Tree, you just click on the Milpar setup and you will have there an origin tab. But right now, the CAMWorks workflow has a different structure. So you define the machine, you define the coordinate system, you define the stock manager, and then the setup. What is this coordinate system? Of course, in the older versions of CAMWorks, you can create a coordinate system in SolidWorks, but the coordinate system in SolidWorks has some bugs, has some problems. It's not hard to use it, but it's not easy. You have to understand it. For me, it's very easy. But the guys from HEL developed this coordinate system, which is very... So the coordinate system, you just right-click it, and then you will have this fixture coordinate system window. You can define it by part bounding box vertex, stock bounding box vertex. You can click on a vertex and then just click on an edge to define the X, Y, and so on. So you can create also, you have an options here to create a SolidWorks coordinate system. So it is very easy, and you will define it in the beginning of the project in CAMWorks. You have here two methods, user defined, or if you have already, if you have a SolidWorks coordinate system, you can use it. You can use entity, the two options I told you earlier, and this axis, you can define it very easy right now. Of course, the workflow, as I told you, was improved. So the CAMWorks workflow is right now very easy, very intuitive user interface right now. Define the machine, stock manager, coordinate system setup. But if you have another improved workflow is for inserting new operation interactively. So if you define the new operation for this pocket, you will right now have another windows here. You can define here the tools from the tool crib. You can define it for the technology database. You can choose from here the features. You can create here the features. This is another good enhancement because the workflow is improved. Okay, so Another options, another enhancement is after improved workflow for inserting new operation. It's the rebuild process. So to simplify the rebuild process, we need to eliminate the need for the user to decide whether there is a light rebuild or a full rebuild. So right now, one of the unique features of CAMWorks is the ability to regenerate the CAM data depending upon the design changes made to the part or to assembly. This associative action is done through the CAMWorks rebuild process. Okay, if you work in CAMWorks, you notice that a little bit annoyed. If you made some changes, you will get the full light or cancel the rebuild window. Right now, CAMWorks is a little bit more intuitive. So if you have some modifications, you will have a CAMWorks warning, which is when you will see CAMWorks data needs to be upgraded. Do you want to proceed with the rebuild? The feature tree has some 10 or more automatically recognized features. CAMWorks will run feature recognition to rebuild these features. So a little more explanation regarding this rebuild process, which is very useful for us in order to understand better this new enhancement. Okay, moving on, another great enhancement was the part perimeter feature. Okay, so none of the competitors can recognize automatically the perimeter of the feature. I tried so many versions of different programs, competitor of us, but in my opinion, nobody can recognize the perimeter of the feature. From this new version, this part perimeter feature has been improved. So just right-click on the mill part setup, part perimeter feature, and until today, the part perimeter will always be defined from the top from the top to the end of the stock according to the exterior profile of the part. If you want to specify in the older versions, you only can specify the strategy of the perimeter boss or open pocket. But if you want to define an end condition for this perimeter, you can in older versions. But from the new versions, right now you have this end condition, just like in any feature in CAMWorks. You have here bottom of the part, blind, bottom of the stock, top of the part. So right now, this is a better enhancement for the part perimeter feature. You know, if you work in CAMWorks, technology database is one of the powerful tools to promote this software. But, in my opinion, of course. But another cool feature is right now, okay, you will define the technology and save it in the technology database. But what if the user want to have specified parameters for different operations? Well, in this new version, you can save the default operation parameters for all operations from CAMWorks user interface to the technology database and load the save default operation parameter for the technology database. So you can save the operation plan, but right now you can save also the parameters, and it is implemented in the optimize tab. You will now have save as defaults all these parameters for this roughing operation, and if you don't have it, load defaults. And if you right click on the operation, of course right now I don't have anything saved, but let's try save as defaults, name test. Okay, just insert another roughing operation and go to optimize, load defaults. Now this test is coming here, and you can rapidly, automatically save this and load this operations. Okay, as I told you so far, these are the most important enhancement in 2.5 axis, but I just want to show you another cool enhancement in my opinion. I will close this and open another part. So in my opinion, this the new version of CAMWorks becomes more and more intuitive, and I told you about a good selling option in CAMWorks, which is technology database, but another one is the automatic feature recognition of inside CAMWorks, which is free. I remind you that all of these features included in these new versions are free. So CAMWorks Sense Editor, it's free. You can always use the same editor in different competitors, but you need to buy it. This one is free. Extract machinable features is also available in another competitor in different forms, but it is not free. But the mill feature recognition, it's right now working according in increasing order by Z level depth. So to list the mill feature recognized using automatic feature recognition, right now it's order based on feature type and increasing the Z level depth. So for this part, let's just run quickly the extract machinable features. As you can see right now, a little bit more intuitive. So the open pocket first, the regular slot, and so on. Until this new version, this feature will not be available. I mean, this new intuitive extract machinable feature. So this is another good enhancement if you ask me. Okay, so right now, moving on, another cool feature is the ability to sort features from the CAMWorks feature tree. You have here the sort. The sort, its window, it's modified, it's more improved. You have, okay, it is available in the older versions, but this in this new version, the sort feature command provide the functionality to sequence mill feature types and instances in increasing or decreasing the order according to the Z level depth. This is another point of view, more intuitive, also more intuitive sort features in this new version. Before moving on to another area which is developed, has a lot of enhancements in CAMWorks, I just want to show you another good option. If you ask me, just let me generate an operation plan and generate a toolpath. Okay, the simulate tab, it's also improved. The toolpath simulation window, it's right now in the left. You can always see the operation simulated, the tool, all these options are rearranged in order for creating a more intuitive user interface for you. So, moving on, another cool enhancement is the ability to mirror the parts just one moment to find the right part. Okay, so another good enhancement is the option for mirroring toolpath at mill part setup level to provide the parameters for mirroring toolpath at the mill part setup level in addition to existing the individual operation level mirror toolpath options. So right now you have, in all the versions, you can always mirror the entire mill part setup by, I don't know, by using this provided API or just click on the every operation. But right now the mirror toolpath options, it's available at mill part setup. If you right click, go to advanced, right now you will see it here. Okay, so of course in this new version there are a lot of enhancements for VoloMill also. Just let me open another part. Okay, so for VoloMill I will just open this. Okay. You have here the avoid sharp corners for repositioning, but in the algorithm of the VoloMill, the algorithm of VoloMill, it is changed. Right now you can always define for feeds and speeds. Right now you have you have an option where user can select maximum feed rate of the machine or a defined feed rate defined by the user, of course. You have non-cutted high Z plunge feed rate. It is on, of course, when you define the VoloMill pattern. A non-cutting feed rate, as I told you earlier, the VoloMill algorithm has a different and enhanced algorithm. So because VoloMill uses high-speed speeds and feeds, avoiding drastic changes in direction, sharp corners, it is recommended in order to prevent wear of the tool. In previous version of CAMWorks, in the VoloMill settings, the avoid sharp corner for repositioning was provided for this purpose. So when it's checked, the areas of the VoloMill toolpath with drastic direction changes were smoothed out. So in my opinion, VoloMill becomes more and more improved in CAMWorks. So of course this is much better. I think for 2.5 axis milling, these are, in my opinion, the most important options. For the 3 axis, and another great enhancement, which is also improved from the last version of 17, is the 3-axis toolpath generation, the advanced method, it is very improved. I have an article on LinkedIn for this option, but these new generation toolpaths are much improved in the new version of CAMWorks. Of course, another good enhancement is the multi-axis in milling. Of course, what do we have in 5-axis? Well, I have an improved curve projection strategy, a very good enhancement for entry and retract, and side parameter, the extend and trim in finish tab. So I will just talk about right now the defining curve projection direction. Right now we have another option here, which is called control the projection direction. Here you can use it normal to surface on and z-axis. On the finish tab, I told you about the extend and trim. Right now you have these new options: tangent extension, start and end, extend and trim gaps, and side extension. And of course, on the entry retract tab, there is a very good enhancement which is called automatic arc, in order for CAMWorks to define automatically the good direction, let's say, of the entry or retract arc of the toolpath. Okay, moving on. Of course, there is a lot of enhancement of milling, but another great enhancement, it has also the turning module in CAMWorks. The turning module in CAMWorks has two very good enhancements, because right now you can define a turn insert from a SolidWorks part or component part of an assembly, and of course the same for turn holders and boring bars. Okay, so just I will go here. The same main spindle, sub spindle coordinate system. Right now, if you go to holder, right now you have the ability to use an STL file, a part file, a SolidWorks file, or SolidWorks assembly, also for holders and also for the inserts defined in the technology database. If we are talking about technology database, so the SolidWorks CAM has another technology database interface. As I told you, SolidWorks CAM is the little brother of CAMWorks. This is the new interface in CAMWorks 18 technology database. Much more improved. Right now you have another good options. You can assign tapping operation for holes. But the whole technology database new interface, it's just like the new version of CAMWorks, it's more and more intuitive. If we are talking about enhancements in CAMWorks, of course we need to talk about the new improved CAMWorks virtual machine, which is powered by Eureka. Right now you will have a new user interface, a new tool interface, and in the tool interface you have right now an enhanced option for cutting condition. So all the good enhancements in Eureka 8 are implemented, of course, in CAMWorks virtual machine. And In the end, I just want to talk about Universal Post Generator from CAMWorks. It's the new version of Universal Post Generator. Right now, you as an application engineer or as a client, you can make your own post processor and compile it, but right now you have the ability to give an expiry date for the post processor. This is a good enhancement for all application engineering in CAMWorks. Just to be sure that everybody knows, SolidWorks CAM and CAMWorks post processor are the same. So this is it for CAMWorks 18 version, guys. If you have any questions, you know the drill. You can use my YouTube channel, the LinkedIn profile, for any questions. So try this new version of CAMWorks, buy it, and let me know if you have more questions. Thank you for your attention.